Good afternoon, and thank you for being here today. I am U.S. Army Sergeant Hubert Delaney, State Representative for District 144, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies this afternoon. Today is a solemn day to recognize our U.S. Armed Forces members who have served and sacrificed for their country and for their loved ones. To elaborate on our purpose today, former President of the United States, Barack Obama, said this: "They are the legacies of an unbroken chain of proud men and women who served their country with honor, who waged war so we may know peace, who braved hardships so that we may know opportunity, and who paid the ultimate price so that we may know freedom." So on behalf of the Stanford Patriotic and Special Events Commission, the Stanford Veterans Park Partnership, the Stanford Veterans Council, and Mayor Caroline Simmons, I welcome you to our 2022 Stanford Memorial Day ceremony. We would also like to recognize our dignitaries and special guests. Our political leaders present include the Honorable Ned Lamont, the Governor for the State of Connecticut, Stanford Mayor Caroline Simmons, State Senator Ryan Fazio, State Representative Corey Barris, State Representative Kimberly Farello, Dr. Tamu Lucero, Superintendent of Stanford Schools, and a gallery of elected and appointed city officials. Ladies and gentlemen, I will ask all of those who can stand, please do so, for the raising of the colors and the singing of the National Anthem. The raising of the flag today will be executed by the Stanford and Norwalk Police Honor Guards and the Stanford Fire Department Honor Guard. And today's rendition of the National Anthem will be performed by Gold Star family member Leslie Manziel. Thank you, Leslie Manziel, and thank you to our police and fire department honor guard. I would now like to invite the Honorable Ned Lamont, Governor of the State of Connecticut, to say a few words.
Stanford, we're honored to be here. And I love the fact that you're all here remembering those who served. And a couple of those star mothers come up and remind me of the ultimate sacrifice for their kids made. And my friend Archie Elam, they're an amazing job just reminding us of the service and what that meant as each of the different groups came by. I'll tell you that this is in many ways the 160th anniversary of Memorial Day. I like to think of the first one is culminated in the Gettysburg Address. You may remember that was November 1863, a few months after the bloodiest war battle in the history of the United States, Americans dying on both sides. And Abraham Lincoln was not the featured speaker. There was a governor from Massachusetts named Edward Everett, and he went on for 2 hours. I don't know, I think governors think they get paid by the word. And then Abraham Lincoln stood up in his 3 minutes. Help us remember those who died did not die in vain. They died for something much bigger than themselves. They died in honor of our freedom and our independence and equality for all. And that's what he said, and that's what we're reminded of every day. As I look around the world now and I see a dangerous world and I see, the Soviet bear on the prowl, I also think about our amazing troops who served in previous wars and are always ready even today. And they're the best troops in the world because they believe in their cause. We believe in them. Because we believe in our vets, we believe in our soldiers, we believe in the cause they're fighting for, they believe in the cause they're fighting for, makes them the best troops in the world. And if freedom isn't free, people are reminded of that every Memorial Day. To all of you folks there in the back, sailors, thank you for what you do. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Governor Lamont. We will now have our invocation, conducted today by U.S. Air Force veteran Rabbi Phil Schechter.
Before we can open the we must pause in our children to think of their parents, teachers, guardianship, lives, who has stolen this country, massacre, and death. And we are also outraged as we remember the tragic racist murder of Buffalo 2 weeks before. And also way to stop this madness. When we have gathered this day, we honor and remember those who served our country. They were called to duty risking their lives and health in order to protect us and our national community. Some did not return to rest in far-off lands, or in hallowed ground here in Oklahoma. We remember them, and we will never forget them for their sacrifice. Oh God, we have gathered here now, especially to honor those who are families. Their loss will never be forgotten. Even with the passage of time, we honor them and thank them for this opportunity to show them our respect and appreciation. We ask, O God, that you bless them and their families. And finally, we offer our prayer for those who serve our country today. Those men and women who now protect their lives and their freedom. We pray that God will grant us strength and courage, and that God God will bless and shield. God bless the United States.
Thank you for the wonderful invitation. The Grand Marshal for this year's parade is U.S. Army veteran Corporal James Lyles, who will be presented with a citation and a proclamation from Mayor Caroline Simmons and given an opportunity to say a few words. And so I would now like to invite Stanford Mayor Caroline Simmons to speak on his behalf.
Today, I want to thank you for coming on this beautiful 2022 Memorial Day parade so that we can come together and pay tribute to the thousands of men and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice and service to our country. And to all the families of the fallen here today, I want to thank you for your service and devotion to our country, and know that your loved ones are in our hearts today. And to all of our brave men and women in uniform, we owe you a debt of gratitude for risking your lives every single day to keep us safe so that we can enjoy the sacred freedoms and rights that we have here at home. So thank you to everyone who served our country here in Stanford and our country and across the world. And today, I have the distinct honor of presenting a proclamation to this year's Grand Marshal, U.S. Army Veteran Corporal James Lyles. Corporal Lyles has had a distinguished life and service to our country and his community. He enlisted in the U.S. Army in 1950, bravely fighting in the Korean War, in the Kurla Valley, and in the Battle of Fort Chop Hill. Initially, Corporal Lyles started his time in the Army in a segregated African-American unit, but he was later transferred to serve in one of the first desegregated regiments, fighting for justice, not only here but across the globe. After the war, Corporal Lyles settled in Stamford, where he started his own business and became an active member of our community. He even served as a gospel singer at the Faith Tabernacle Church Choir. You do it all, Corporal. On behalf of the city of Stanford, we are so proud to have you in our city. We are so grateful to you for your service to our country. I want to thank you for being this year's Grand Marshal, for being an inspiration to so many.
Corporal Lyles will now be presented with official citation of the Connecticut General Assembly. Be it hereby known to all that the Connecticut General Assembly hereby offers its sincerest congratulations to Corporal James Lyles, U.S. Army veteran, in recognition of his honorable service to his community and to the United States Army. Corporal Lyles enlisted in the Army in 1950. He served honorably in the Korean War and fought bravely in both Kurla Valley and in the Battle of Fort Chop Hill. Initially assigned to a segregated all-African-American unit, he was later transferred to serve in one of the first desegregated regiments. After his honorable service, Lyles settled in Stamford, Connecticut, started his own business, and served proudly as a gospel singer in the Faith Tabernacle Church Choir. His service to our community, state, and country are an inspiration, and he proudly represents all veterans at Stanford's 2022 Memorial Day Parade Grand Marshal. Signed, Martin M. Looney, President Pro Tempore of the Connecticut State Senate, Matt Ritter, Speaker of the Connecticut House of Representatives, and Denise W. Merrill, Connecticut Secretary of State. Corporal Lyles will now be presented with the proclamation on behalf of Mayor Simmons and the city of Stanford. Whereas the city of Stanford proudly honors Corporal James Lyles as Grand Marshal of the 2022 Stanford Memorial Day Parade, and whereas James Lyles enlisted in the United States Army in 1950 and was ordered to Fort Jackson, South Carolina for basic training. And whereas James Miles enlisted in the United States Army in 1950 and was ordered to Fort Jackson, deployed to the Korean War while assigned to Gulf Company in the 21st Infantry Regiment. And whereas James Miles, upon landing in Busan, North Korea, South Korea immediately saw action with Allied forces pushing North Korean and Chinese Army forces north of the 38th parallel and fought on both Pork Chop Hill and in Kumwon Valley. And whereas James Miles was then awarded 2 Bronze Star Medals, the Combat Infantry Badge, and the Korean Service Medal. And whereas James Miles was then honorably discharged from the United States Army in 1957, moved to Stanford as an entrepreneur, operating his own business on West Main Street for 27 years. And whereas James Miles, being a singer his entire life, sang in both the Heavenly Travelers and in the choir at Faith Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church. And whereas James Miles, living in Stanford, has been a champion of veterans issues as a life member of Springdale Post 9617 of the Veterans of Foreign Wars. Now, therefore I, Caroline Simmons, Mayor of the City of Stamford, hereby proclaim May 29, 2022 to be James Miles Day. And on behalf of our citizens, honor him for his lifelong devotion to duty, selfless service to our community and to our country. I would now like to welcome Army veteran Corporal James Miles to say a few words.
Grandmaster for today's parade. And I just want to say this. For the veterans, what's on your television? You see today in the foreign country, war-torn country, you see the refugees on the streets. Hundreds of refugees on the streets. Have lost everything, have nothing left, and they're just there. Now, other veterans, and a lot of young people die to make sure that that doesn't happen in America. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Corporal Miles. We will now bring our dignitaries and elected officials for a series of brief remarks, beginning with State Senator Ryan Fazio.
Good afternoon. It's impossible to pay tribute with your words to the sacrifice of the patriots who laid down their lives for our nation. The sacrifice of the servicemen and women who gave their lives for our country says more than any words or any action ever could. John chapter 15 says, "Greater love hath no man than to lay down his life for his friends." There was no higher act of love than their devotion. To our fallen patriots, we as Americans owe everything. The freedom, prosperity, and well-being of a nation that is unrivaled in human history. They died for a people and a place. They also died for the ideals that people represent, articulated in the founding and animated in history. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. This great inheritance was given to us freely by those who paid the ultimate price to secure it. In return, it is our solemn duty to honor them and to protect that inheritance. It has been said that people die twice on earth. Once when they take their last breath, and again when they are no longer remembered. If we remember the men and women who laid down their lives for our nation, if we pass on their memory to future generations, and if we work to perpetuate the American project, then they will, in some sense, live forever on this earth. May God bless those who have served, and may God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Fazio. I would now like to invite State Representative Corey Paris to say a few words.
Good afternoon. On behalf of a grateful nation, we thank you for the ultimate sacrifice that each of you have paid in order to secure freedom intact for all those across this nation. However, we must look inwardly this year at the sacrifices that have been made and look at how we can do better. In 1865, General James Garfield led in infantry in the Confederacy to Arlington National Cemetery for what was called Decoration Day. Decoration Day with 5,000 volunteers to lay wreaths and flowers and poppies on the headstones of nearly 20,000 men lost in the war. While in the North, a group of enslaved free men and women did the same exact thing to honor those who have been lost and fought in the war to secure freedom for all those in our nation. During the Civil War, this took place, a time where our nation faced its greatest challenge, a time where we were torn apart by divisive issues, but we overcame that. We came together as one, not knowing that the other was still paying tribute for the lives lost, for the blood shed, for the valor shown. We live in some of the most challenging and unpredictable times. And what are we doing to ourselves? We're further apart from each other more today than we've ever been before. And Decoration Day, which became Memorial Day in 1968, when it became a federal law enacted by Congress, became the very symbol and the true meaning of us all coming together. That despite our issues, in spite of our challenges and our disagreements, we still come together to remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice and gave us the freedoms for which we have today. The freedoms to disagree with one another, but they possess the heart for us to come together when the times call for it. My friends, my neighbors, this is the time and the year for us to come together as one, to remember the bloodshed and the freedom that has been won on our behalf. And as a grateful nation, forge together as one in unity to secure freedom for future generations to come. Thank you, and God bless each and every one of you.
Thank you, Representative Paris. I would now like to invite State Representative Kimberly Fiorello to say a few words.
Okay, great. Corporal Lyle, I want to say to you, as a Korean American, 대단히 감사합니다. It's because of, as a Korean American, it's because of people like Corporal Lyle and the soldiers who died in Korea that someone like myself can be here today. And when I'm asked, like, what does America stand for? I recently spoke in a classroom of children. I point them towards our money. If you look at any coin, it will tell you the three things that our country stands for. It's liberty, in God we trust, and e pluribus unum, which means out of many, one. And the governor invoked Abraham Lincoln's speech at Gettysburg, and that speech gave us all a duty to ensure that this country, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the principle that all men are created equal, will long endure. And we just sang the National Anthem, which ends with the question, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the brave? And I think our answer, given all the folks who are here today, is a resounding yes. And we should make sure it is always a resounding yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative Fiorello. We have with us today some of Stanford's best and brightest. A Stanford Fire Department team who received the White House Medal of Valor, firefighters Chad Titus, Brian Rosero, Don Calandro, led by Captain David Harry. The Medal of Valor is awarded by the President of the United States to public safety officers who have exhibited exceptional courage, regardless of personal safety, in an attempt to save others from harm. I would like to ask that they stand and be recognized. I would now like to welcome this year's guest speaker, U.S. Army Major General Thomas Bouchard, Deputy Commander for Mobilization and Reserve Affairs for the United States Special Operations Command, to say a few words.
Thank you very much. Mayor Simmons, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, fellow veterans, and especially our Gold Star family members. It's an honor and a privilege to be with you on a spectacular day, the Observance Memorial Day. In beautiful Stamford Veterans Memorial Park. It is fitting that this park is situated in the heart of Stanford, as the city has a proud history of military service of its citizens from World War I, II, Korea, Vietnam, and through to our most recent conflicts. This park serves as a place to honor these individuals from Stanford community who have, through the city's history, embraced the selfless commitment to serve our nation and defend the Constitution and its ideals. Designed to be both welcoming and inspiring, Stanford's Memorial Park succeeds in providing a space for congregation, individual reflection, and most importantly, a place for honoring the service of our community's veterans, especially those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Memorial Day is a day to reflect and consider the line drawn from those honored by this park through, in spirit, to the same Americans who fought and forged this republic, and through those who have served in peace and in conflicts, small, great and small, who have helped shape our nation. This is a nation founded in ideals and liberties espoused in our Constitution, a nation born and sustained by great optimism, perseverance, and resolve, which is protected by a military composed of its citizens and aspiring immigrants who resolutely committed to ensuring that we remain a free people. As we reflect on Memorial Day, it is time to honor those who have sacrificed everything to protect the liberties and enjoy the liberties we enjoy and exercise every day. For many Americans, Memorial Day has become a holiday that marks the transition from spring to summer, from school to vacation. A long holiday weekend celebrated with barbecues and family gatherings. It is a quintessential American holiday. However, at times, it seems the true meaning of Memorial Day can become lost, and the indifference to its true intent frustrating and even disheartening. However, observance of Memorial Day can also be a balance between an expression of the reverence we hold for those who have lost their lives in service, together with the celebration of the freedoms their sacrifice has earned for us. Those quintessential Memorial Day picnics and social festivities can also be considered an embodiment and a reflection of the benefits of the liberty and prosperity that the members of our nation's military have so endeavored to secure. As previously noted, Memorial Day was first observed after the Civil War, when it was originally referred to as Decoration Day. This was because families would typically remember their loved ones by placing flowers or flags by the grave sites of their beloved. Of course, this tradition continues to this day, with small American flags planted at the grave site of American veterans around the world. At Arlington National Cemetery, the soldiers of the 3rd U.S. Infantry, the Old Guard, over a period of a single day, fan out across the cemetery and decorate every grave marker, over 280,000 with small American flags. Early in my service, I was fortunate enough to be signed as a platoon leader in the Old Guard. For those not familiar with the Old Guard, it is an Army unit that is assigned to conduct ceremonial functions within Washington, D.C., the National Capital Region, and Arlington National Cemetery. One of the most important missions of the Old Guard is to conduct funeral honors for the fallen soldiers who are to be interned in Arlington National Cemetery. When I first arrived at the Old Guard, I, like every newly assigned soldier, endured many weeks of intense training and preparation to pass the test required before being allowed to serve on the teams and to conduct funerals in Arlington National Cemetery. The training was difficult, detailed, and at times tedious. We were inspected for the shine of our insignia, the fitment of our uniform, the alignment of our decorations, and the sharpness of our military bearing. While the expectations were exacting, the attention to detail and rigorous training served a larger purpose. The Old Guard takes its mission to conduct military funerals extremely seriously. The Army, through the Old Guard, considers the flawless execution of the rendering of final military honors to a departed soldier as the sincerest expression of respect for the service and sacrifice of that soldier and his or her family. The training of each participant in a military funeral is critical because, like every military operation, the flawless execution of the conduct of the military honors funeral requires the synchronized coordination of the actions of the individual soldier. From the crisp crack of each of the 3 rifle volleys, the tight folding of the American flag with blue canton and white stars only visible. Every aspect of the funeral is intended to convey the sincere respect and a deep appreciation for the service of the fallen soldier. This we owe to the next of kin and family members. For me, it was a tremendous honor to participate and lead many funerals in Arlington National Cemetery. When I consider Memorial Day, I will often reflect on the few but deeply meaningful words I would express as I would carefully lean over and gently press our folded flag to the next of kin. On behalf of the President of the United States and the Secretary of Defense, a grateful nation, and sincere appreciation of your loved ones' faithful service. In Arlington, as in military cemeteries and battlefields around the globe, both famous and forgotten, rest the men and women who fought and died for the ideal of freedom for which our nation was born. It is only fitting that on Memorial Day we honor their courage, service, and sacrifice, and celebrate the freedoms for which they fought, died, and uphold our sacred pledge to never forget. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, General Bouchard. I now welcome Stanford Police Captain John Revelle to lead us in our closing benediction.
Let's pray together. Almighty God, gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity to give honor to whom honor is due. To remember the brave service and sacrifice of all of these men and women. Father, in recent days it seems like what has taken place in our nation in recent days, weeks, months is not worthy of these sacrifices. To thank you, Father, that these men and women did not serve based on our worthiness, but based on their character and their courage. Father, today we remember and memorialize and honor 3 who have perished over the last 12 years with direct connections to Stanford. Stanford's own native son, Special Warfare Operator Chief SEAL Ryan R. Bill, Staff Sergeant Todd James T.J. LaDraco Jr., and Marine Gunnery Sergeant Robert L. Gilbert II. Thank you for their commitment to courage and service and sacrifice. Help us as a nation, as citizens of Stanford, to embrace and embody that spirit of service and sacrifice to one another. Now we ask a special blessing on the Gold Star families that loved them and lost them. Help them to feel your peace and your grace and your strength. And in fact, we pray that for all Gold Star families in our nation. We ask all this in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Lavelle. We will now have the posting of a wreath on our Veterans Memorial and the playing of Amazing Grace. We lay this wreath in honor of our honored dead, whose names grace the monoliths that overlook the Stanford Veterans Memorial. Today's rendition of Amazing Grace will be performed by Ryan McAllister and the Fairfield County Pipe and Drum Corps. And this year, U.S. Marine Corps veteran Sergeant Wilma Deacus will lay the wreath at the foot of our Veterans Monument while escorted by soldiers with the Connecticut National Guard. Thank you, Sergeant Deacus, and the soldiers of the Connecticut National Guard for leading us in that honor today. We will now hear a 21-gun salute performed today by the Stanford Police Department Honor Guard. Be advised, we will be hearing a 3-shot volley. We will now hear the presentation of taps, courtesy of Petty Officer 3rd Class David Allen of the U.S. Navy League Cadet Corps. As we gather here today, the names of those who lost their lives in defense of our freedoms are inscribed on the monoliths around us. We can see the cost of their sacrifice in the faces of the veterans sitting next to us and in the lessons that they teach us. Lessons on how we should live and lessons on how we should treat each other. That we should live our lives and treat each other in ways that honor their service and sacrifice. Because we deserve citizenship and leadership worthy of those we remember today. And we can never forget the price that we pay to defend freedom and justice. We would also like to thank all those who made today possible. We would like to thank the mayor for sponsoring today's events, the Patriotic and Special Events Commission for organizing today's Memorial Day ceremony. Thank you to all our VIPs, elected officials, appointed officials, and special guests for attending. And a special thanks to those individuals and organizations that contributed in so many ways to this wonderful ceremony. I would also like to thank my fellow veterans, the city we call home, and our grateful nation. And I ask that we please take the time today to view some of the names inscribed on the monument around us, especially if you're here for the first time today. Finally, thank you to everybody for your care and for your goodwill. All participants and assembled units are dismissed. This concludes our ceremony. Thank you for coming, and please drive home safely.